hopefully you're excited for this next session here on the main stage. And we're starting with a question. Do you think you can outsmart a hacker? Any of you? Yeah? Okay, I like your confidence. That's good. We'll see about that. Big future ahead of you if you can. I definitely can't, but maybe you definitely can, okay? You might just have what it takes to build a career in cybersecurity then, that's what we're saying. From catching scams to protecting games, apps, hospitals, and global brands, cyber pros are the digital world frontline defenders. In this session, meet the people using sharp thinking, fast reflexes, and clever tech to stay one step ahead of cyber threats. You can see our panel on the stage right now. They're raring to go. And we've got a fantastic panel. We've got Dr. Kirsty Perrett, Kotha Rabani, Eve Oliver, Darren Kingsnorth, and our chair from Thales UK. She's the Wales Strategic Lead, Leanne Connor. So please give them a warm welcome.
Good morning all, and welcome to today's panel, Break into Cybersecurity. I'm Leanne Connor. I work for Thales. We're a global organisation and we have a base in South Wales. So, cybersecurity, one of the fastest growing industries, but also one of the most misunderstood. You don't have to be a hacker or a coder to get into a cybersecurity career. And today's panel are going to offer some insights into the different pathways into a career in cybersecurity and the technical world. And also into the cybersecurity in the non-technical world. So, first off, I'd like our panel to introduce themselves. If you could give your name, your current role, how you entered cybersecurity, and then also, what first drew you in?
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm Dr. Kirsty Perrett. My job title is Lead Cyber Engineer and OT Product Authority for Thales in Ebervale. I work as part of Leanne's team. My way in, accidental really, it wasn't planned. I worked for the NHS for 12 years and as a network engineer. And when I seen a cyber attack happen, and we were literally running around blinded with no idea for more than 30 hours plus, it made me understand that security is more important and we needed to take it a lot more serious, particularly with his lives at risk. So that's how I got into it. I went then back and done a master's degree and then followed on to a PhD. So yeah, I'm not the ordinary way in, but yeah, I've always liked computers and you don't have to do any mathematics or anything clever like most people think cybersecurity is, but yeah, that's my way.
Hi, my name is Kotha, and similar to Kirsty, I kind of didn't have a traditional entrance to cybersecurity. I'm a cybersecurity consultant at PwC currently, and I've been with them for about 2 years, over 2 years now. And how I started essentially was I was supposed to do neurophysiology at uni, and my course got cancelled. And that was due to COVID. So it gave me perspective, and I was looking at the courses available, and I was like, this aligns to what I already do day to day. I like my privacy, I like my security, I don't reuse passwords. So I was like, maybe try it out for now until we see what happens. And I loved it. I didn't know anything about computers, I'll be honest. It was very difficult. But after a while, I was like, this is where I need to be, and I've been enjoying it ever since.
Thank you.
Hello. There we go. My name is Darren Kingsnorth. So I'm the head of threat intelligence at Admiral Group. I'm sporting this ridiculous mustache today, of course. It was the last day of November. So I got into cyber in a very cookie-cutter fashion. So I built my first PC when I was about 9, and then just kind of built from there, really. Went into computer games development because I just love to mess about with games and cheats and stuff like that. Went into college as computer games development, and then turns out that that's a terrible career. No, it's not, by the way. Lots of good people, but no, more so about the crunch time and things like that. So I was like, well, actually, I really like CSI. As cliche as it is, used to love CSI watching that. So I was like, wow, let's combine them both together. And then I joined university in South Wales, actually. And then I actually joined, this is really cliche, because I actually literally joined the CGI graduate program. And then here I am.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eve. I'm from CSG. And when I left school, I absolutely loved social media. I loved posting online. I loved making videos. So I got into marketing through that. And then I realized that a lot of companies just fail short when it comes to posting videos and short content that younger people can engage with. So that's what led me to my role then to work for small businesses and helping promote them online. But with promoting them online comes cyber threats and comes risks of being attacked, because the more information you put out there, the more vulnerable you are. So that's what drew me then to really specialise in cybersecurity. And I work for a Welsh IT company in Bridgend. It was the first IT company in Wales.
Thank you very much, all.
Also a cyber ambassador. Thank you for that little plug there. I wrote that.
Okay, so my next question to Darren and Kota. Darren first, if you don't mind. How important are certifications versus hands-on experience?
So I do have a few certs, if you look at my LinkedIn. Not many in the recent years, though, because you do find out that they are just like many things in life. Not again, teachers don't listen to this. It's just a piece of paper. And so really what I want is value. And from an experience, nothing replaces that. And so you really have to have seen it to have really have an opinion on that rather than just a theoretical view of that. So the more that you can get into stuff, especially now in the world of AI and similar, the more you can kind of showcase those skills. So I would always peg experience over any sort of certification. There's also that lag as well that you have with certs adopting the newest things and out there. So
Yeah, I completely agree. Having hands-on experience is higher than having a shiny paper. Having said that, when you are in industry, they do like a shiny paper, whether we like it or not. So you will be pushed once you're in industry, but it just for your kind of understanding and learning, it's always good to be on a course or just generally just keeping up to date necessarily. So yeah, hands-on experience is much higher than a shiny paper, in my opinion.
Okay, thank you. However, certifications can set you above other candidates on paper, but yeah, experience is absolutely crucial. Okay, so Kirsty, what would you say is the first step for someone with no technical background to get into a career in cybersecurity?
I would say, first of all, think about what it is you like to do, because there's lots of different routes into cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, as Leanne said earlier, isn't just about hacking or isn't just about catching hackers either. There's lots of different ways. So as Eve was saying, she did the marketing and things for it. I started with the hacking. I wanted to learn how to take things apart. So that's how I got into pen testing, legally ethical hacking. And then I just went from there, really. You have to be interested in something. So whatever it is you're interested in, whether that's forensics, whether that's mathematics and you want to do encryption and breaking codes, whether that's hacking because, you know, you're like breaking things and putting things back together or understanding how things work. There's lots of different ways and there's many more than just that. What I would say, yes, certs are important, going back to the last question, but you can also get free certs and free training. And by doing the training, it might help you understand which path it is or which door it is into cyber that you prefer, because the initial one you initially thought might not be the one you like or the one you're going to stick with. So just try all the training platforms, and there's plenty out there that are for free. There's lots of funding in the world of cybersecurity now. Cyber first competitions, you can actually earn money. I mean, they got children as young as 9 and up to 14 earning money from doing coding or breaking things. So yeah, it is quite a fun, and there's lots of free things out there. You don't have to spend money. Cybery is one platform. You can download that on your app. and there's lots of free training on there that helped me a lot. It also gives you certification. So although they're not accredited in terms of, you know, a professional body, you still got that to put on your CV and then show you can actually do what you're saying you can do.
And a good source of information is the National Cybersecurity Centre website, where you can find an awful lot of information regarding free courses. So I'm going to move to Eve. Cybersecurity isn't just about coding or penetration testing, as I mentioned earlier. What type of non-technical roles exist within cyber businesses?
So we've all been there. We've been at a show or we've been talking to people and you get asked a technical question and I have to say, sorry, I'm not the techie in the company, I do the marketing. So with my role, I go out and talk to you guys, I go and visit schools. If you like getting out there and inspiring people to be motivated to do certain roles, I also find a lot of enjoyment in doing, like I said earlier, videos, short content for social media. If you like editing videos on TikTok, if you like doing photo editing, then perfect, because a lot of older people and businesses I work with don't know how to edit these videos for TikTok quickly. And they need to get it done fast because, let's be honest, our attention spans are getting lower and lower as a community. So that's where your talent and where your unique assets will really fluctuate, because a lot of people think that tech roles is just about being sat behind a computer, but no, I'm out speaking to schools every day, I'm out visiting different businesses, different companies, different clients, and making videos and making photos and posting them on socials. So to be honest, it's a lot more than people think.
And every cyber business needs finance, every cyber business needs legal and commercial. So whatever your interest is, there is a route into a cyber career. Okay, so for students who are making choices about courses, degrees or training, what factors should they consider if they're interested in cybersecurity? So Darren, I'll put that one to you first.
So I would personally say, of all of those, obviously, we're all looking for jobs and things like that, right? But it's really about showcasing you, like was mentioned earlier, above everybody else. And so you do that by showcasing value. And I think, well, quick raise of hands. Who's using AI, LLMs, ChatGPT? Perfect. And who dressed themselves today? Nobody dressed themselves today. Okay, well done to those three in the back. They dressed themselves. My point is, that's a routine, right? So in a computer sense, that's just a subroutine. So if you can, one, use AI and two, create some sort of routine, that means you can code. And so coding is just a medium to machine code. So yes, we had Python similar before, but now we have AI, so just extrapolation of that. So if you can then do those things and obviously create some sort of platform or similar that can all be done for you now, you can showcase value. So you can really showcase your skills based on your initiative and similar. So a lot of these problems that we had before where we weren't able to do coding unless you were a coder, those days are long gone. And so the more you use those kind of platforms, the more and the better you can really pull kind of real value out of it, rather than just tell me what's the meaning of life or just having a chat with the LLM. It's those kind of things of how you actually actionalize that and operationalize that in a sense that people really want to know about.
Thank you. Kota.
To consider, like when you're actually seeing where you kind of fit into cybersecurity, I feel like you should try many different things. I always get this question, what are you most interested in? I work in a security consulting team where we do many different things, mainly testing, but many different types of testing. And I always get that question of, where do you find you're most interested in? And I'm always like, I still haven't tried everything to be able to say, this is what I really like. So I always recommend try everything until you're like, this is what I wake up in the morning for, you know? This excites me, and just take any opportunity that you can and just try it out. If you don't like it, that's absolutely fine. There's something else that you can try again. But yeah, try everything. and say you're choosing a course, for example, start with the most basic. You'll do networking. That's the most basic part of cybersecurity. You kind of understand the basics and you kind of build up on that. If you enjoy problem solving and stuff like that, then you're in the right place anyways. And if you like building things, then definitely learn how to code. But you don't necessarily need to know how to code to be in cybersecurity. Again, like we mentioned, there are so many different places, aspects in cybersecurity that you can join anyways. But yeah, like, try everything is the moral of the story.
And Kirsty, as someone who left school to go to university and study biomedical science, which didn't work out for you, what choices and what considerations in today's world do you think are important that potentially you didn't have in terms of the amount of available support and information?
I was just actually going to say that when I was a young girl, there wasn't these opportunities out there. So I'm a little bit jealous of you guys because you basically got the world in front of you, whereas I had to figure that out first, which took me a long time. But my story in itself goes to show that you can jump from one thing to another. You know, I started working when I was 18 because, as Leanne said, I went to do biomedical science and it was boring. Not saying that you guys shouldn't do it, it may well have changed now, but you know, it wasn't for me. And I still don't know what I want to do. I don't know if anybody else is the same, but all my life I've never known what I wanted to do. So it's always that, what's next, and it's all about just going with it, going with what you like doing, and going with what don't make you dread waking up in the morning like you do when you got to get up for school, yeah? You want to be excited to go to work and have a different challenge every day. I would say, inevitably, if you're using a digital world, IT is probably a good choice, but it don't limit you if you can't take IT. And any science, technology, engineering, STEM subject, mathematics, anything that can guide you. But don't let that limit you if you can't take those subjects or if you change your mind after you've made those choices. Like I said, there's so many courses and you can always apply other skills from a different domain into the world of cyber anyway.
Okay, thank you. So, one last question to whoever wishes to answer. Which emerging areas do you think will create new opportunities? Who wants to answer?
I mean, we're all probably tired of hearing about it by now, but AI is becoming every single usage for every business. Every company's looking to automate facilities and automate the way they do things. So if you can get an understanding of AI at a younger age and really delve into how it benefits the end user, and it could benefit someone differently to the way it benefits someone else. So it's really good to understand the overall kind of business needs, how they're changing, and how AI can suit that. Because, let's be honest, one company may not benefit that much from AI. So it's all about really understanding what the goals are that businesses and companies, organizations want to achieve, and how this technology can help it. And one user does not fit all, yet one source does not fit all things. So I think it's really good to understand what people really want from the technology they use before they start using it.
Just a quick to add to that. So I'm part of the geopolitical intelligence group. It was financial services and similar. So we horizon scan what it's called in our world, but essentially what's the future like? And so there is, as we probably have seen in the news and similar, that we are in a population decline. And so it's estimated that China will have around about 400 million robots in the next 20 years. And so the dog that you see outside, which is absolutely horrifying, but at the same time amazing, that will be commonplace. We won't just see that at one time there. And similar with drones and similar. So that's a massive growth area, huge. But at the same time, there's the minerals you need to create those as well, those silicon, the semiconductors and similar that we do have out there as well. That's exploding because of the drive towards these kind of expansion areas.
On that note, the best job you could probably get for your future self is maintaining robots, right? Yeah, if you can fix a robot and you understand how it all works and interacts and what it connects to and what it can do, then you should be able, therefore, to fix it. And you'll be one of the few that thought of that. Little tip.
Thank you very much. So we're now going to open the floor up to questions. If there is anyone with a question, please raise your hand.
If anybody want to know how to hack, come and see me later. I'll give you all the tools.
That's a really good question, actually. Who does want to hack into a bank? Raise their hands.
Okay.
Let's do it now. No, I'm just kidding. But you can learn that, you know, legally, but you can learn that. So it can be done.
Do anybody want to raise a hand?
Yeah, one question from the gentleman there.
Hiya. So I'm a student in cybersecurity at the moment. So what can people who are studying cybersecurity do to, as you were saying earlier, add more value to the CV and make yourself more employable above the just studying on the course?
Well, the easiest step you can make is adding me on LinkedIn and adding all of us on LinkedIn. You know, that is a first step that many people don't do. So if you know more about us, obviously, if you were in an interview, you say, oh, Darren used to work here, and oh, yeah, we can have an affinity, right? Not to say let's completely play the game, but it's about creating those connections in those networks.
Absolutely. Definitely build your networks, and don't be afraid to ask. You know, people are always willing to help. Eve?
Depends what industry you want to go in. If you want to go into a certain industry, research what they're looking for. Manufacturing industry, they're all about automating processes, making use of technology. If you want to go into health sector, how are they using it? I follow quite a lot of different technological newsletters, industry-based. A lot of the time it can be too generalized. How is AI impacting employees in what sector, in what healthcare, in manufacturing, etc. So really niche down on the industry and the area that you want to specialize in. And that's how I feel you can really make a statement in the environment then.
Yeah. And attending events like this, really important.
Definitely
Meet lots
events
of
like this.
people, learn lots of things. You know, and there have been some amazing presentations and talks going on around. So yeah, you've taken the right step in attending today.
I was just going to say on that, don't be frightened to come to companies and ask for work experience. I mean, you might have to work for free in the summer, for example, for a few weeks. So offer your time, and don't, like, if you get told no first, just keep trying. No's a no, but if you don't ask, you don't get. And I feel like sometimes, as we said, experience offers, well, a lot more that you can talk to in your interviews and on your CV than just going to university. Whilst university is absolutely brilliant to have on your CV and an academic qualification, when I'd done my PhD, a lot of the other students I was alongside could talk all about the technology in great detail, but had actually never seen one of the technologies called a PLC that they talked about so much. They'd never actually seen one in real life. So having experience and offering you time for free when you have it, even if it's a small amount of hours, would greatly help.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we've heard a lot about pathways into cybersecurity today, and technical roles, non-technical roles.
Yeah, chap's got a question.
Oh, sorry.
What are your goals for the future, and what are you going to do to improve cybersecurity?
It's a tough question, Christ. So what are my goals? I mean, we're losing heavily, right? I mean, so in terms of the battle between the good guys and the bad guys, we're heavily losing, and we have been for the last 25 years. You know, cybercrime is a $4 trillion industry. So crime, don't listen to this, but crime does pay quite heavily. So we really need people like yourself and similar to join us in that battle, really, because ultimately we are fighting against people on the other side of the computer screen. And so whether that's insider threats that we face because they're being paid by, criminals, but also criminals themselves. So in terms of my goal is to help stop that, which is a very cliche kind of pie-in-the-sky goal, but I work with many different government sectors to hopefully solve some of those problems.
Yeah, and I think as well, we always think of the big companies getting hacked and the big companies getting breached. But if you think about the small businesses in your local area, if they get breached or if they get a cyber attack, that could be their company completely gone. So I think it's about caring for one another as well and really working out what you want to put your passion towards. And mine personally is helping small businesses really thrive in a digital pressured environment. So that's something that you guys can look toward as well.
Cool. And top marks to that person for actually asking the questions. So fair play.
I think he's got a follow-on question.
Forgot what he was going to say, have you?
So, are you just trying to help with cybersecurity, or are your goals also to look at cyberbullying and like topics related to that?
What was the last bit, sorry?
So, are you trying to like help with cyberbullying, or is it just cybersecurity? So, are you just trying to look at how people's lives are with cyberbullying, or like anything with that topic?
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying earlier, everything that happens in the real world, bullying, can happen in the digital world 10 times over, 10 times worse sometimes. You mentioned cyberbullying. It's a regular occurrence, and at the moment, there's not enough that we are doing to protect the people that's, victims of that. The first and foremost thing you can do is report it up. A lot of people hide behind their computers and ultimately bullies are the weak link. They're the ones who have to feel like they have to bully people. How to stop that? Well, we are looking at traffic. We've got police forces now that are in just cyber. There's a lot going on in schools that can make support, but you have to make the teachers aware. We've got things like Cyber First. We've got our labs actually in Thales in Vale that educate. Although we make it fun and we do like forensic hacking for children in school, we also do working with the schools and educating teachers on how to handle things like cyberbullying. Is there anything that like platforms that you were referring to that is happening on, or is it just like a general thing? Because I can go into like social media, you can report it upwards to social media, and then they look into things like that, and they've taken it a lot more serious now, I think, as well. I think people are realizing that it is actually causing detrimental impact to a lots of people, including celebrities, right? They often get trolled and have spoken out freely that they just feel terrible about it. In fact, they go into a shell and don't want to come out of it because of it. So it is a big thing, but first and foremost, you have to report it in order to make people aware.
Okay.
Sorry, just to quickly add to that. So appreciate you obviously putting your hand up to actually speak. And so I just want to really call out everyone really to say, you're currently the only person in this room that businesses know about. So if you want to have a chat with any of us, if you are interested in cyber, please let us know because we can help you in that. And so I think that's the biggest thing that everyone can take away from this is put your hand up, get involved, really get interested. So thank you.
Okay. So we're all around on the stands later if anyone wants to come and chat. One more question? Have we got time? No. So we're on the stands later or after if you want a quick chat. Can I just give our panellists a massive thank you for their time today and a round of applause.